purification system, and our main selling point is S300 gold seal, S300 gold seal. And more often than not, we do face with customers saying that, oh yes, I have a filter with gold seal as well. And what is the distinction with this S300 gold seal compared to others that just a WQA member?
Okay, the gold seal, let's not talk about number yet. The gold seal, if it's real, and there's a lot of counterfeit gold seals in Asia, unfortunately, but if it's a real gold seal, what it means is that whatever that system is, it may be a carbon filter, it may be a UV system, it may be some other kind of system, but it means that the system was tested at the WQA laboratories and it passed certain tests. Where the numbers come in is the relationship to the type of water treatment. So for example, if you have a simple carbon filter, you can get a gold seal, but it will have a different number. If you have a UV system, ultraviolet light system, you can test it. If it passes the tests that they conduct, it will get a gold seal with a different number. S300 is the number assigned only to reverse osmosis systems. So if you see anything other than S300, it means it's not a reverse osmosis unit. And you can actually easily go to the internet and just look up, and it's WQA.org, and key in the company who is saying they have the gold seal. Because just the last time I looked, which honestly was many weeks ago, about 50% of the companies that say they have a gold seal is not real. So the WQA website lists the companies and the products to see if they are real, and it will tell you what they can do or cannot do. So S300 is specifically and only for reverse osmosis systems. Okay?
Thank you, Mike. So we are so proud that Ielken has this S300 gold seal. That means our purification system is of high standard. Give Ielken a big round of applause. Yes?
And I should mention, Sharon, there are a lot of companies who have tried to get the S300 gold seal, and they simply cannot achieve the standard. They don't pass the tests, so they don't get the gold seal. So a lot of times they will go for a lower standard, a different number. I shouldn't say lower standard, let's say a different standard. That's like trying to say Kawasaki K1000 motorbike compared to a Mercedes 600E. Very different. They're both fast, they're both well made, but one is a motorcycle, one is an automobile. Different standards, different tests. So make sure that if you or anybody that you care about is thinking of a water treatment system, number one, look for certification, real certification. And number two, if you want pure water, you should look for S300 for that number, because that is for reverse osmosis systems only.
Okay, and the other thing is, once we obtain the certification, we have to re-qualify every 3 years.
Yes, now that goes back for product, it's every 5 years. Okay, so for example, when we earned the gold seal, and we've had S300 gold seal for about 15 years now, every 5 years you have to retest and recertify to prove that your quality standard is still right at the top. And in fact, sometimes there are additional tests or additional steps because technology advances. Just a side note, the same is true for individuals. So I'm a master water specialist. Just because I am now, does it mean I'm going to be 5 years from now? If I don't continue to study and learn and take exams, I lose my status. I start from zero. Because technology changes, information changes, contamination is getting more and tougher. So the WQA wants to make sure that certified individuals stay current with information, with technology, with experience. So I just literally, my certification period expires this year in November, and in April I finished all of my recertification. So for 3 more years, beginning in November, I'm still Master Water Specialist. 3 years from November, I have to do again. I have to make sure that I have done all of the requirements to maintain my certification.
Thank you, Michael. You see, Ielken is very serious about this business. For the last 15 years, we had this certification of this WQA 300 gold seal without any break, right? Continuously, there's no break. It shows that they are serious. So we as distributor, as consumer, we should have the confidence to continue use this product. Give Ielken a big round of applause. Okay, sometimes we go out in the market, right? We try to promote our RO filters. And more often than not, we face a lot of challenges. The most important challenge is your water is too pure. There's no mineral. It's no good for our health. Isn't it? Yeah, these are the main concern with our prospect. There's no mineral in water. It's no good. And sometimes we drink too pure water, and once in a while you go out there and drink teh tarik or whatever, you will get stomach upset. Do you face this problem?
No.
No? Oh, okay, never mind. If yes, let Mr. Mike address this issue.
This is a very interesting question, and it's very complicated, but also very simple. And let me start out with the very simple part. The simple part is, and we all learned when we were young in school, the formula or the way we describe water is H2O. And that means 2 atoms of hydrogen combined together with 1 atom of oxygen creates water. That's water. H2O. There's no minerals in that equation. Don't talk about minerals in water, because water is just water. But let's back up for a second. When I first became a water specialist, I hate to say more than 30 years ago, but it's the truth, I got so many questions. Wait a minute. You gotta have minerals in the water. You need the minerals in the water. And I decided then that I would take the time and I would also study and become a certified nutritional counselor. or a certified nutritionist, whatever you want to call its certification. And here's something very important. Let me ask you a question. I'm going to ask you. Do we need minerals? Yes. Do we need protein? Yes. Do we need fats? Yes. Do we need enzymes? Yes. Do we need carbohydrates? Yes. Why do people say, oh, you need the minerals in the water? Why not the fats and the carbohydrates and the protein and the enzymes? Why just the minerals is what you need? Most of the companies who say this are not able to take the dissolved minerals out of the water. They stay behind. Whether they're good or bad, who knows? Because, believe me, there's bad minerals. Or there's minerals that if you have too much, they aren't good for you. So, my answer, if I talk simply, is this. Where does all of the water on this earth come from? It comes from rain. Or, if it's very, very, very cold and it's in the North or the South Pole, it's snow. Rain or snow falls on the ground, becomes in the high mountains a glacier, ice. It melts and it goes in the rivers and the streams. Look at the Clang River. It comes from the rain that falls in the hills and the mountains. Here's the interesting thing. If you analyze a drop of rainwater, what do you find? You find H2O. You don't find minerals. You don't find fats. You don't find protein. You don't find carbohydrates and enzymes. All of those other things we need. So why do companies just pick on the minerals? It's because they can't take those out. And they say, oh, you need them. You need them. So we leave them in. It's not that they leave them in. It's they don't know how to take them out. Or they're not capable. So it's a little bit complicated. I hope that you understand what I just said. But here's the most important thing. Minerals, protein, carbohydrate, enzyme, you name it. All of those things are part of nutrition. Nutrition. The value we get from food, from vegetables, from fish, from whatever we eat. Nutrition. Let me tell you something very clear. Water is not nutrition. Water is not nutrition. If the rest of the time that you're around on this earth, you only drink water, you will die. Promise. You will die. Because there's no nutrition. You have to have water. Water is how we keep our bodies cool with perspiration. Water is how we digest our food. Water is how our joints stay lubricated. Water is actually how signals are carried to our brain. When I touch this, whoa, I feel it there in my finger. How? Wow. The signal is sent through the water in my cells up to my brain instantly. People must have water to live. But remember, water isn't nutrition. It's hydration. It's how we rid our bodies of toxins and poisons and waste material that we don't need. That's why everyone goes to the toilet every day. Your body is using water to get rid of this stuff you can't use, don't need. But water isn't nutrition. So don't be fooled by companies who say, oh, you need the minerals. Nonsense. You need minerals in your food. You need minerals as part of your nutritional uptake. But you don't need minerals in water any more than you need fat in your water. Any more than you need carbohydrates in your water. Any more than you need all the other nutritional components. So there's a big difference. Big difference. Water is just H2O. A raindrop is just H2O. Slightly acidic, by the way. Slightly acidic. Normal. But pure water is what the body needs. It's what nature gives everyone on this earth. It doesn't matter to me if you say it's Allah, you say God, you say nature. It is a wonderful gift to all mankind. This cycle is unbelievable when you look at it. It's a natural purification process. It's not filtration. It's purification. You can't drink seawater. Absolutely no way. Why? Too many minerals. Salt. But too much. When that seawater evaporates, no salt, no minerals, just H2O. So it's easy to fool people if they don't really stop to think, or if they don't understand. Absolutely you need minerals. Absolutely you don't need minerals in water. You need H2O. Okay? I hope that answered it.
Yeah, thank you, Mike.
Sorry.
Actually, we heard it not only from the water specialist, master water specialist. Michael is also a certified nutritionist. That's why the answers is so convincing, and all of us have to thank Michael for such a good explanation. Yeah. And I mentioned earlier that, the water is so pure. If you take it, every day, of course, it's good. What happens if you drink outside?
Let me take a little bit more on this same topic. What happens if you drink outside? Does everybody know what the word logic? Something is logical. The word logic. What's the Chinese word for logic? Do you know? Logic. Okay, never mind. What's the Malay word for logic? Logic. Okay, good. I speak Malay. Let's just take for a second. Let's take logic. Logic. Okay. This morning I got my shirt, my nice white shirt, and I put on my white shirt, my Elkin attire. Can you imagine if I shouted at my wife and I said, I can't wear this shirt. It's too clean. Wait a minute. Is that logical? Go to a restaurant. Order some nice dishes. Eat a little bit and then throw your chopsticks or your fork or your plate on the ground and shout at the owner, I can't eat this food, it's too clean. What? Is that logical? Or, last one, Mount Kinabalu. Beautiful, beautiful climb, beautiful, clean, pure air. And you get to the top and Ugh, I better not breathe this air. It's too pure. Hold on. Hold on. How can your clothes be too clean, your food be too pure, your air be too pure, water can be too pure? Wow, that's not logical. It doesn't make sense. But people have been tricked into believing this. They're fooled into believing, oh, it's too clean, it's too good. Think about it. You drink nice, pure, bio-pure water all day at home. Your immune system is functioning well. You're strong, you're healthy, you're happy, your kids, your parents. You go outside and you have your teh-tarik, and the water that they used wasn't quite good enough. Your immune system is much stronger, much healthier, much better able to protect you from problems. Whether it's bad food or bad water, the stronger your immune system is, the better it protects you. So again, this nonsense about the water is too good, too clean, let me reverse it. Does that mean you should go find a restaurant with cockroaches and mice and rats running around in the food and, okay, yeah, this one looks pretty good. I think I'll have my food here. It's not too clean, so it's going to make me stronger? What? Not logical. So again, if we just use logic, we can answer these questions very, very easily. Okay?
Thank you, Michael. Okay, we have learned so much from Mike about the gold seal, right? The WQA gold seal, and also the purification of water is so important in our health rather than nutrition, right? But out there are so many filters in the market, right? A to Z, and even the purification system. There are a few in the market, right? Everyone claims to be the best and cheap. Alright, and there are different kind of scheme. Other than all these benefits we have, what other criteria we can sell? We can actually focus and convince our prospects that our unit is the best, i.e., second to none.
Okay, again, a bit of a complicated question. Let me try and address it as best I can. Have any of you, in fact, put your hands, have any of you ever stayed at a hotel or motel? Ever? Anybody? Who has stayed in a motel, hotel, ever in their whole life? Okay, almost everybody. If you go to a motel that is 60 ringgit per night, and you go to a motel that's 600 ringgit per night, do you think it's going to be the same?
No.
No way. No way. If you pay 35,000 ringgit for a car, automobile, or you pay 350,000 ringgit for the car, are they going to be the same? No. Even though the 35,000 ringgit car says, we're the best. We're the best. We've got 4 wheels. We've got aircon. We've got steering wheel. We've got transmission. We got shiny nice paint. We got a windscreen. We're the best. Or you go out and you buy a new Mercedes. 4 wheels, steering wheel, windscreen, nice paint. But a big difference between Mercedes and the 35,000 ringgit car. There's a big difference in water treatment systems. Now, I don't mean to tell you that the more money you spend, the better the water treatment is. What I mean to tell you is this: quality does have a certain price. You cannot get top quality for the lowest price. It's just not possible. There are companies out there that are charging unbelievably high prices for quality that's down here. But people don't know. So to me, one of the ways that you can protect yourself and protect other people is look for certification. Look for independent certification. If I go to Sharon's house and I say, Sharon, test the water for me. Sharon does a couple things, and then I say, my water is tested at Sharon's lab. Huh? No. You need to make sure that your certification is internationally recognized and that it's honest, it's true, it's not fake. And you can do that easily by looking on the internet. Elken has come out with a program that we call EK Smart, and it is designed so that people can more affordably enjoy pure water. We also have EB, we also have lingerie, we have beauty products. But the whole idea is so that more people can afford and enjoy. Is it the cheapest out there? You know what my answer is? I hope not. Because if it's the cheapest out there, that means we cut some corners. We reduce the quality. Because you cannot be the cheapest and be the best. So definitely not the cheapest. But at the same time, there's something called value for money. If you go spend, let's say, 75 ringgit for a meal, one person, 75 ringgit, you say, wow, that's a lot. But you enjoy that food so much. That food tastes so incredible. You say, yes, that's good value for money. On the other hand, you go somewhere and you order something for 10 ringgit, but it tastes... That 10 ringgit, you threw it away. It was cheap. No value for money. So everything in life is a balancing act. You have to balance quality, price, information, logic. You have to use your heads a little bit. Don't just be tricked by some cutesy actress who says, yes, I love this water. It's wonderful. She doesn't use that. She's just getting paid to say that. No way. So, some are legitimate. Depends on, if it's a model for clothes or beauty products or whatever. My only point is this. Use your mind. We all have minds. And our minds are powered by water. If you don't believe me, stop drinking water for a couple of days. Totally stop. Your brain starts to, wow, what's going on here? You've got to have water. So use your minds, use your logic, use information to make good decisions. Because let me say this. Everyone has to have food. Everyone must have water. And you can live for 30 days or more without food. 5 days without water and it's over. It's done. Your body has to have water. So water is much more important than food. And yet people, hey, where shall we go eat tonight? Or what shall we make for dinner tonight? And talk and discuss and plan and think. But what about the water that they drink? So much more important, but people They don't think about it too much. Let me tell you, we're living in a world where there are more and more and more issues happening with water. Stuff that's showing up in water that shouldn't be there. One last point, and then I'll let you keep going because I know we're running out of time. There is a report, very, very comprehensive report, that says out of about 250 brands of bottled water, brands that you will recognize, almost all of them are contaminated with microplastic. Little tiny bits of plastic that you swallow and goes into your body. Nobody talked about microplastic, even 5 years ago. Nobody. Today, microplastic and plastic contamination is one of the hottest topics in the water treatment industry. So it's changing. Believe me, our grandparents drank better water than most of us are able to drink unless we have a biopure system or some other very high level system. Don't be complacent. Think about the water that you're drinking, okay?
Thank you, Michael. A very extensive, detailed explanation. All of us should convince that that is the best water we have, right? The best system we have in Ielken, right? Give another round of applause to our company, Ielken. Alright, I think we have a little bit more time. Right? Maybe I can ask this question. Out there, many companies they claim that the alkaline water is the best. They can heal this disease, that disease, right? But how much is the cost? They pay sometimes 5 figures, just to get alkaline water. So is it that good? What? Can you help us?
Okay. This is a very, very simple and very complicated topic. So let me try and address it very quickly from 2 sides. I'll say one more time. All the water on earth comes from rain or snow. If you analyze a raindrop, just as it's formed in the clouds or the atmosphere, that raindrop is H2O, and the pH is slightly acidic. It's not alkaline. That's number 1. Number 2, alkaline versus acid only measures pH. And pH is complicated, but it's simple. It's called potential of hydrogen. pH, potential of hydrogen. I won't go into a science lesson as much as I love science. But here's what you need to understand. And it goes back to the very beginning of our discussion. Your body needs mostly alkaline foods. Your nutrition could and should be heavily toward the alkaline side of the scale. So about 80% of what we eat should be alkaline. About 20% can be acidic. It's okay. One simple question. You can shout or you can raise your hand. Is water food? No. Alkaline food is important. Alkaline water is nonsense. Absolute, pure, total nonsense. It doesn't matter if the alkalinity is 7.5 or 8, 6.5 or 6. It doesn't matter if the water is pure. Food. How many of you ever drink orange juice? Ever? Who drink orange juice? Orange juice. Orange juice. Okay. Did you know that the pH of orange juice is about 4 On the acidic side, 4. So 7 is neutral. Alkaline goes up from 7. Acid goes down from 7. 4. And remember, pH scale is called logarithmic. So 7 is neutral. 8 is 10 times more alkaline than 7. 9 is 10 times more than 8. 100 times more than 7. Go the other way. 7 is neutral. 6 is 10 times more acidic than 7. 5 is 100 times more acidic than 7. 4 is 1,000 times more acidic than 7. My gosh, so acidic. I better never drink orange juice again. Right? Nonsense. Nonsense. Lemon juice, 3. pH is 3. 10,000 times more acidic than 7. Is lemon juice bad for you? No. Because it doesn't matter. Did you know that lemon juice, highly acidic pH, is actually an alkaline food? Oh, yeah, really. Because whether we know it or not, the pH of water is meaningless if the water is free from contamination. And that's why a raindrop is slightly acidic. It's below 6. Because that raindrop gets a little atom of carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is a natural gas in the atmosphere. The water, that H2O, grabs the CO2 and it makes it slightly acid. Does that mean it's bad for you? No. Water isn't food. Alkalinity is important in food. Alkalinity is not important in water. It is nonsense. Okay?
Thank you. Today we learned a lot from Mike, right? Alright, I think time is our constraint, right? And some of the questions which we received from the floor, we were not able to address it today. But I think the main questions we have already taken up. So, probably you want your question to be answered, come for the next forum, okay?
I'll be glad to see all of you again. I hope we can bring more people because I love doing this. I really feel like people need to know what's the truth.
Yeah, I think once again we will thank Mr. Mike for taking his quality Sunday to be here. And also for all the participants here, I believe that we have learned a lot from Mr. Mike and also be an advocate for this product and be convinced and confident that this is the best product, right? And go out there, we should be able to conquer the world. Thank you very much, Mike.
Thank you.